As dads, we just want to help. It's just built into us. We see our kids or even our family members struggling, and our instinct is to swoop in, fix the problem, and save the day. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes our help isn't helping at all. Sometimes it's enabling. And enabling is like giving someone a life jacket when what they actually need is swimming lessons. I learned this lesson the hard way through my family, through my mistakes, and even through my parenting. And today, I want to break it down so you know exactly where the line is between helping someone grow and accidentally keeping them weak. Part 1, the compassion trap. Let's start with a quick example. My son's mom rents her house out to her younger brother. She could easily charge him full market rent and actually profit. But because she wants to be compassionate, she only charges him about 60% of what she could. On paper, that sounds very generous. Like, wow, what a great sister. She's helping him get ahead. But here's the kicker. Her brother is a alcoholic and a gambling addict. So the extra money she leaves in his pocket, it doesn't go toward a better life. It doesn't go towards savings or paying down debt. It goes straight into fueling his addictions. So instead of her generosity being a blessing, it actually backfires. She struggles financially and he spirals deeper, and they both end up worse off. That's the compassion trap. It feels like helping, but it actually hurts everyone involved. Part 2, my basement wake up call. And I can't sit here and judge her too hard because I fell into the exact same trap. Years ago, I let my kid's Uncle Tommy move into my basement. That's the youngest little brother. At the time, I thought this will be good for him. He'll see how I live, he'll get some structure, maybe it'll rub off. But here's the thing, I wasn't even in a good place myself. I was stuck in a job that was crushing my soul. I was still raw from my separation. I was dealing with anxiety, depression, and still trying to figure out how to live with a growth mindset. And Tommy, he was even further behind. No real structure growing up, no rules, no serious job until his late 20s, if you even call it serious. He was depressed, entitled, and used to living off of handouts. So, what happened when I gave him a comfortable place to stay? He partied, he brought friends over, he snuck in homeless people into my basement. His negativity infected the whole house. One weekend I was away with my kids, and he and his brother got into a full-on fight in my backyard. Nevertheless, my neighbors were terrified, and my reputation on the block was tarnished for a while. And meanwhile, I started drinking more just to cope with the chaos I had invited into my own home. The little bit of money I charged him for rent, when he paid me anyway, would just go into self-destruction. I created an Airbnb for lost souls. That's when it hit me. I wasn't helping him at all. I was enabling him, giving him a cushy environment to stay broken, to avoid responsibility, and to keep living in his dysfunction. And worse, it was hurting me. It was dragging me down as a father, as a man, and as someone trying to rebuild his life. Part 3, the parenting connection. Now, here's why this matters for us dads. Because the same dynamic that plays out with their siblings, cousins, roommates, it plays out with our kids. We don't call it enabling when it's our kids. We call it being a good parent. But sometimes it's the exact same thing. Think about it. When your kid forgets their homework, do you rush it to school for them Or do you let them deal with the discomfort and the consequences so they actually learn responsibility? When they blow their allowance, do you hand them extra cash? Or do you let them sit with that discomfort so they learn how to manage their money? When they skip their chores, do you quietly do them yourself? Or do you let them face the frustration of falling behind? See, as dads, our instinct is to protect, but protecting too much is just enabling. And enabling robs our kids of the very lessons that will make them strong, independent humans. It's like carrying your kid everywhere instead of letting them learn to walk. Sure, you'll prevent them from falling, but you'll also prevent them from ever walking on their own. Part 4, my handout lesson. And I know this firsthand. When I was younger, my parents gave me a lot of handouts. At first, it felt amazing. Who doesn't love free help? But looking back, I can see how it actually weakened me. Because instead of figuring things out, I expected a bailout. Instead of suffering through the lessons, I got cushions. And you know what cushions do? They make you soft. I honestly wish I had suffered earlier. I wish I had been forced to figure out my own way instead of waiting for someone else to solve it. Because pain is the better teacher than comfort ever will be. And that's the mindset I bring into fatherhood now. I'll always love my boys. I'll always guide them. But I won't rob them of the suffering that will shape their character. Part 5, the litmus test. Helping versus enabling. So, how do you know the difference? Here's the litmus test. Helping empowers someone to stand on their own 2 feet. As we're enabling makes it easier for them to stay weak and dependent. Helping creates growth. Enabling creates comfort. If your help leaves you drained, resentful, or fuels the other person's dysfunction, it's not help, it's enabling. Part 6, the dad angle. Why this matters so much. And here's why this is so critical for us dads. Our kids are watching. If they see us constantly bailing people out, constantly carrying others, constantly softening the edges of reality, they're going to grow up thinking that's normal. But if they see us set boundaries, if they see us let people face the consequences of their actions, if they see us model resilience instead of comfort, they'll absorb that. And that's how you raise strong kids in a world that's getting softer by the day. Because let's be real, the world isn't going to give our kids discounts just because they're nice people. Life doesn't care if you've had a bad day. The boss won't care if you forgot your assignment. And the bills won't stop just because you blew your money on something stupid. If we don't let our kids learn those lessons under our roof, the world will hammer them with those lessons later. And the later it comes, the harder it hits. So dads, here's the question. Are you helping or are you enabling? Remember, storms don't just break people, they build them. And sometimes the most compassionate thing you can do is to step back, let your kid or your sibling or your friend or your family face the storm and trust they'll come out stronger on the other side. If this hit home for you, subscribe to the channel. This is where we talk about building stronger fathers, stronger kids, and stronger families without falling into traps that keep us stuck. Because comfort feels good right now, but growth feels good forever. No time like the present. See you in the next one.